Hello and welcome to this Little Nightmares monster tier list. So the plan for this video is just I'm going to be ranking the enemies in the Little Nightmares games, but only in 1 and 2. I'm sorry, I haven't played 3, and I honestly don't plan on playing 3. Who should I rank first? I feel like I have to start with the janitor, right? I have to start with good old Roger. I think Roger's just straight in S. Roger's just straight in S, because, like, he's kind of just like the poster child of these kind of villains. He's the first one you meet, and he's probably the most memorable in Little Nightmares 1 and even across to 2. He's very memorable, he has a very unique design. The strongest aspect of Roger is like his proportions and how unique they are. Like, it changes the environment too, because the moor, his section on the moor is literally built for him. It's built it's built for his proportions, right? It's built so that he can actually traverse the moor. And so you end up going through these really unique rooms and stuff where, like, the drawers are reaching into the, almost touching the roof, because, you know, this guy has long ass arms. It's pretty gross too how he literally has like his mask is slipping down his face. I don't even know if that's a mask. It might just be like his actual skin and that's his skull underneath. Ugh, that's pretty gross. But I don't think it is, because I think in the hospital you when you're going through the hospital in Little Nightmares 2, you see his mask. So it probably is just a mask, and he has a really ugly mug underneath it. Even like lore-wise, he's quite interesting because he's one of the, I guess I'd say, like, least aggressive monster on here, or at least like least evil, because he doesn't really, he kind of just seems like he's just doing his job, and I kind of feel bad that we literally chopped his arms off. I don't think he really deserved that. He was trying to kind of kill us, but, you know, he was trying to just do his job, you know. He's just putting kids in cages, and that was really it. He never shows any sort of aggression. He's kind of just, he's quite gentle, you know. He doesn't really want to hurt the kids. He's just doing his job. He probably sees the kids as just sort of like animals, you know. Which, I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, he's not really doing that much wrong. He's definitely like a bad guy because he is taking part in murdering kids, but I'm just saying, I feel like he's a more innocent character, which makes him a little more unique. I think something that I am going to be talking about a lot with future monsters, especially in Little Nightmares 2, is how they sort of lose the unique designs from Little Nightmares 1 going to Little Nightmares 2. Like, I'll probably go more in depth in it later, but Roger's just, I mean, he's really good because of how unique his proportions are, and how also the levels are different because of that. Let's just do like a random one, like the guests. The guests work, right? I'm going to put the guests in B. Yeah, they're creepy because they're just fat and they're ugly and they eat children, they eat anything. And the chase scenes with them where, like, they're just piling on top of each other, it's just gross. They work, they're nothing special, but they're just like fodder enemies, right? It's kind of creepy how there is that one scene where the chef kills one of them and most likely probably turns them into food. I'm going to rank the teacher. I think people might lose their shit a little bit, but I'm going to put her in A. I mean, it's still high, but I feel like people would put her in S. The reason why I put her in A is going back to what I was speaking about with the janitor, right? They never really go back to like these weird proportions that the monsters used to have in Little Nightmares 1. Now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of was just a janitor, but they sort of never really do it again. And I think the teacher's a prime example of this. Like, the teacher is literally just a lady with a creepy face. I kind of miss like the whole, like, the super weird proportions in Little Nightmares 1 with the janitor, and how the levels you encounter him in is literally very unique because of his unique proportions. Like, the way he plays and the environment is literally different, with how I said, like, the drawers are reaching up into the sky because of his long arms. I've been thinking about this because I watched a video. I don't know what video it was, but I think the channel name was called like The Overman or something. If you like Little Nightmares content, you should definitely go watch them. But he brought up a very good point that, you know, like the teacher's design, I feel like it's just, you know, it's a little basic. She's creepy for sure, she's got a creepy face, but apart from that, she's just a teacher. And she has a stretchy neck for some reason. That's another thing, right? The unique powers that the monsters used to have in Little Nightmares 1 had an explanation, right? So like, as I said, with Roger, he has long arms, and that makes sense because he's a janitor. The teacher having a long neck just doesn't really make sense, really. I guess it's more, I guess it's like she has eyes in the back of her head, right? She can just turn her neck around so she can watch over the kids. The long neck's just for watching over the kids, I guess. But you never really see her doing any of that, really. You can kind of just guess that's why she has a stretchy neck. You know, she never uses her neck to actually look on the kids and watch them, and it kind of just feels like a random power that she has with no explanation, which it's not that big of a deal. It's not. I'm making it out to be a big of a deal. I'm just explaining why she's not S tier like Roger, because what made Roger so good is that he had these weird proportions, but then the level layout and everything was and the fact that he's a janitor, just it all makes sense, you know. Yeah, janitor would probably benefit from very long arms. A janitor, his section in the mall being completely different is really interesting. Teachers definitely A though, because I mean, even with those things I just said, those bad things I said, I mean, she's still really scary. Sections are probably some of the best, not only in just 2, but in 1 as well. By the way, I am speaking very highly of 1, but I think I do prefer Little Nightmares 2. It's getting a bit convoluted, I know, but just bear with me, okay? Yeah, the teacher's gameplay sections are probably some of the best across the 2 games, honestly. You know, you've got obviously the memorable bit with the piano. Everyone remembers that bit because it's really good. You've got the chase scene where she's like stretching her neck in the vent. You've got so much good stuff. She's a very good monster. It's just I feel like her design could have been a bit more unique. Could have been more interesting, and maybe the school's layout could have been warped and different to suit her weird design, if you know what I mean. Sort of like Roger. I don't know, I think that's just something I want again. Okay, let's move on to the next monster. Wait. Who the hell are you?
Don't be silly. I'm you from the future.
Okay, why are you here?
I'm taking over the video now.
Because you're a fraud. Okay, so, future me here. Basically, just what I want to say about the teacher is if you pay attention to the bit where you're sneaking around the classroom, right? If you look at the board where the teacher has been writing on the chalkboard, right? She's literally just been drawing scribbles. And I think this is a little detail, but it says so much about her character. Because, well, this has to just show that the teacher isn't a real teacher. Or at least, at the minimum, she's not teaching these kids anything. She's just torturing them. They're like porcelain children. She's not teaching them anything. She's literally just torturing them. In my mind, right? What I'm inferring from this, right, is the teacher isn't an actual teacher. She's just someone that wants to be a teacher. She's like a little girl playing house, which is really creepy. She's like role playing. That's what I mean. And she's just putting these porcelain children like through so much shit just because she probably just likes it. She just likes this. Probably likes this authority, right? She just likes role playing as a teacher. She's like a little girl. I think that's really creepy. I think this makes her probably. I think I've said this already a lot in the video, or I'm gonna say this a lot in the video. I always go, oh, this character's really mysterious. Oh, this character's really evil. But she probably is like, no, I'm thinking about it, probably the most evil character in Little Nightmares, if this is true. Because she's literally not even teaching these kids anything. Like, you could look at these kids. The porcelain children are like, they're such dickheads, man. they're always loud and stuff, but then when they're in the presence of the teacher, they're scared, and the teacher clearly, like, is really mean to them. But then, look at the board, seeing what they're learning, it's nothing. The teacher's literally just torturing them. She's not teaching them anything. The teacher's creepy, man. She's creepy, and she's evil. She's evil. She's not even teaching these kids anything. Okay, look, I'm done here. I think you get what I'm trying to say. I don't know if my bastard elf is still alive. I think he's... I can hear him breathing. I think he'll take over. I will be back though, like a couple more times in the video, because I didn't. This video was poorly made. I missed a couple stuff. I'll be back though. Just wait. A monster that really suffers from what I've just been speaking about is the Doctor, and I think the Doctor's probably like C. I honestly think the Doctor's kind of bad. Why I think he's not that good is because you go through the entire hospital, right? You're going against these mannequins, and you're like, oh, these mannequins are so creepy, I want to know who made them, right? And then you get to the Doctor and you realise, oh, he's just a fat guy that crawls on the roof. Is that not a little disappointing? Like, it doesn't even make sense why he crawls on the roof. Why does he? It just feels so random. It's just this fat guy that crawls on the roof. I don't know, it just seems a little underwhelming. He's got a very boring design. His whole thing is that he crawls on the roof, which just doesn't really make sense. Maybe it would have made sense if like the whole entire hospital level was like upside down, if you know what I mean. That would have been sick. So it's like everything's upside down for us, but for him it's normal, right? Because he's crawling around on the roof for whatever reason. That would have made sense. You know, I'm going back to Roger. This is why Roger's so good, because the level design was changed for him before his weird proportions. So I think if we saw something like that for the Doctor, it would have been pretty sick. But we just, you know, it's just a fat guy and he crawls on the roof. Like it's really random and so underwhelming. We kind of had this build up to him, right, with the mannequins, and then he's kind of just a fraud. His gameplay sections, I remember, weren't even that interesting, really. His chase scene was good, where you kill him. When you kill him was pretty cool. I like the bit where you turn that thing's life support off to distract him, but apart from that, I can't think of anything that stands out. It's honestly just a bit forgettable, really, apart from his death. The only reason he's not D is because, well, he does have some pretty fun sections, and he's not overall absolutely terrible or anything. It's just quite disappointing. Let's go back to Little Nightmares 1. Let's do chefs. I think the chefs are A. Are they A? I think they are. Yeah. I still, you know, I was saying like bad stuff about the teacher, but the teacher is really good. Like as a monster, like her presence and like it's more just her gameplay sections are just very well designed. They're very good. But I think a big reason why the chefs are so high is because, well, they have the unique thing with them, with there being a duo, right? That's sort of their unique thing. And I think they do a lot of creepy stuff with that. So like, I think we all remember that bit where you go through the toilet and there's literally two toilets next to each other, sort of insinuating that these guys probably poop together. Like it's like they're subtle, well, probably not subtle, but they're like these subtle things that hint towards their lifestyle. It's just kind of creepy. The fact that they're wearing masks is really weird, because I always thought that was just their normal face, but you can see them like itching their actual face, like under their skin, and it's like, ooh, that's really weird. There's a lot of mystery with like why these guys wearing masks. A lot of good gameplay sections where you're crawling around in the kitchen. These guys are they're solid, right? They're just pretty good. Let's do like a random one, like the shoe monster. I think the shoe monster's got to be like low, right? Shoe monster's pretty behind Doctor, but for what it is, I do like the shoe monster. The only reason it's low is because everything's just sort of better than it, right? Because it's literally in the game for like 45 seconds and then it's gone. But for what it is, it's pretty cool. The actual gameplay section is quite unique. It's kind of like the granny in the DLC, but just quite a bit watered down, right? But there's a lot of mystery to this thing. Like, everyone wants to know what it looks like. What is it? Is it an actual person or is it an animal? Kind of reminds me of like the trash compactor monster from Star Wars. Like that's kind of what I imagine it looks like, right? Like just a little eyeball thing floating around. I like that there's like this mystery and it's just this really random monster that's just in the game. I was just speaking about the granny, so I think I might as well rank her. Wait, no! Leave me alone! Future me is back, and I'm gonna rank the granny because this fraud hasn't played the DLC. He didn't play it, but I did, and I came back to the past to tell you my thoughts on the granny. So I played the DLC, the Little Nightmares DLC, for this video. I hadn't played it before. I've been a big fan of Little Nightmares like for so long since this came out, but I never played the DLC. I only just watched people play it. I initially put the granny at the bottom of A in my video, but then I was like, I gotta give the granny a good chance, right? I'll go play the DLC. I bought it, played it. DLC was surprisingly really good. It was a really good DLC. I honestly want to make a video on it because it was that good. And the granny, she is not bottom of A. I think I'd put her behind the teacher. They're like, teacher and the granny are like on par, honestly. They're really close. Oh my god, the granny is so good. She was so surprising. And she was also such a breath of fresh air. She was so different. As I said, she works very similar to the shoe monster. She's kind of like like an upgrade to the shoe monster. Where like, she's travelling under the water and you need to get to a piece of land before she gets to you. Very simple, but it's very different. And I can't lie, she's probably the scariest monster in the series. She probably is. Maybe it's because it's a personal thing, right? Maybe it's like I'm scared of water. And the granny really plays on that. But come on, man, the granny's so scary, dude. What's unique with the granny is you barely see her. 90% of the time she's underwater. Which is really creepy because you just have this mystery most of the time of what she even looks like. And then you catch subtle glimpses of her, like sitting on a couch or something. It's like, oh, it's so creepy. For her actual design, it is a little like basic. She's kind of just a water granny, which I think it works for sure. But like other characters on here have better designs, I think. But her design just doesn't really matter because you don't see her, and I think that's a good thing. Having this mystery of what she looks like, it makes her more creepy. And the way she works in gameplay, she's so nerve-wracking. When you're trying to swim to the next piece of land and you can just see her slow, like the ripples of water coming towards you. And I think the scariest part is the music. The music builds up and there's like this heartbeat and it just gets more dramatic. Oh my god, I was so surprised with the granny. The granny is so good. She's such a good monster. The only thing that just brings her down, I guess, is maybe just her basic design, I guess, maybe. And the fact that she's just not in the game for that long. And I think she's one of the few characters that I actually think it's okay that she doesn't get that much screen time. Because I feel like maybe if she got more screen time, her whole effect would wear off, right? But I think the teacher has to be higher because the teacher has more variety with her gameplay, I guess. But I think these two old ladies are like on par. Like I was so surprised with the granny. She's a very good monster. Very good. I think she's top tier, man. She's really good. She seems like she's just been like left behind, right? Maybe she's been exiled to the bottom of the moor or something. I don't know. There's all these theories. But she's quite interesting. She seems like one of the most feral monsters. She's just been surviving off scraps. Like, you literally use fish to distract her. Yeah, Granny, super creepy. And I was so pleasantly surprised by her. She's very, very good. She's a very good monster. I really like the Granny. Now, obviously, because this is future me talking right now, I'm going to have to give it back to my past self. On my past self's tier list, you're going to see the Granny at the bottom of A. But just know, you know, she's supposed to be up here next to the teacher, right? Okay, I'm going to hand it back to my past self. I think he's still alive. Let's go. The leeches, I just put them in D. I don't think anyone cares about the leeches. I'm not even going to keep talking about them. Just rank them and move on. The hunter. You know, I'm going to put him behind the teacher. The hunter is I think the Hunter's pretty good, honestly. The Hunter kind of suffers in gameplay, I think, because of his whole shotgun thing. It's definitely unique and I appreciate it. But the whole thing with him, like, just shooting and missing constantly just kind of makes him feel really, like, incompetent. Like, he just can't aim at all. Like, he doesn't really feel like much of a threat, you know? Because he's just constantly missing his shots with the shotgun. Someone needs to count how many shots he missed. Like, it's kind of embarrassing, dude. You have a shotgun, that's like the easiest weapon to use ever. And you've missed these little children so many times. But apart from that, though, everything else... His game, don't get me wrong, though, his gameplay sections are not bad. Like, the chase scenes are pretty fun. And then the stealth sections where you got to, like, hide under the water, hide in the grass. Like, that's pretty cool. And his whole section being in the forest, too, is very unique. Something we haven't seen before in the series up until then, right? I think my favourite part about him is the mystery behind him. I think he's one of the more mysterious characters, right? Like, there's so many questions that I have. Like, why does he have taxidermy people in his house? Like, and it's even down to simple stuff. Like, what does he even look like? He's got this bag over his head. I think my favourite part about him, though, is, like, the fact that there's taxidermy people in his house. That is pretty messed up, you know. It brings up so many questions, like, is the hunter really lonely and he's making these taxidermy model things because he's lonely and he wants some company? Or is it more sinister? Like, he broke into this family's home, killed them and taxidermied them just for fun? That's kind of creepy to think about. He's just this serial killer that just taxidermies people and props them up like they're having dinner and stuff. Ew, it's just really creepy. There's also the question of, like, why does he have 6 locked up in his basement? Was he going to taxidermy her? Or did he... again, going back to, was he like just a lonely guy? Did he found someone that was alive and was like, hey, I want you to be my friend? And so he just locked her up. Maybe he's a more innocent character. Yeah, I think that's just really cool about the Hunter. Is like, he could be one of the more innocent characters, and then on the other hand, he could be one of the more evil characters, you know? He's either just a lonely guy that just taxidermies people just for company. Yeah, it's kind of creepy, but, you know, you can kind of feel bad for him if that's the case. Or he's like a super evil guy that literally just murders people just to taxidermy them. Which would probably make him one of the more evil characters. I think the Hunter's a very interesting character. The Hand. You know what? Fuck the Hand, bro. I can't even hit it with a... they're so squirmy. I hate them. They work, though. I'm just joking. I put them in D for a joke. I mean, they don't compare to the other monsters, so... whatever. The bullies... there's not many people in B, so I'll put them at the bottom of B. They work. I don't really have much to say on them. They work. Yeah. The combat encounters with them can be tedious at times. It's quite clunky, the fighting mechanics with them. The bit where you have to go through, like, the cafeteria is pretty cool. I don't have much to say on these guys. They are fine. They work. The mannequins are, like, I think they're top of B. They work pretty well. The only thing that's bringing these guys down is just there's like that one section that's just really hard. There's like 8 flipping mannequins around you and you have to turn into a flipping lighthouse, I guess, and just spin around in a circle to get them off you. I just think the flashlight mechanics can be just a little annoying with these mannequins. But, like, when they're not too overwhelming and there's just a couple of them you're dealing with, they're really good. They work really well. They put a lot of panic on you. They're very good. They're very good antagonists. They work really well. And there's a lot of mystery behind them too, with how has the Doctor been like transporting their souls or their brains into these mannequins? If so, why would they do this? Maybe this is a more malicious thing the Doctor does. I don't know. A lot of mystery behind these guys, but they're very creepy, so they're gonna go top of B. Let's do the lady. Where would the lady go? The lady has a very strong presence, you know? I feel like she just has this presence that they do really well. Like, she just has this strong, overwhelming presence over them all. Like, you can just tell by looking at her, she has so much power, right? At least in terms of status. But obviously she does have a lot of power physically with her, like, weird telekinesis shadow powers, you know? She's a very, very mysterious character. Not much to go off. Apart from her probably just not liking the look of herself with all the mirrors broken. And that is a very cool concept with how you literally beat her by making her look at herself. Like, it's kind of sad when you think about it. I just don't know where to rank her though. She's pretty cool. I feel like she has to be at least A. I think I do like the Hunter more. Do I though? Nah, actually I put her above the Hunter. I think the teacher's probably better. Again, because the teacher has really good gameplay sections. You honestly do not spend much time with the lady. I think it would have been cooler to have some more stealth section, because it's kind of just a stealth encounter and then you run away from her and then a boss battle and then that's it for the lady in the base game. I don't have much to say on her, which is kind of a good thing in a way, because I like the mystery with her. She's a very mysterious character, probably the most mysterious character. But yeah, she's very good. I don't know, there's not much I can say for her. The visitors, I would put behind the mannequins. Yeah. And they're just another fodder enemy, right? But they're pretty cool. I really like the puzzles with the TV. Again, I'm going to keep saying it's the mystery behind them. Why are they watching the TV? Why are they so interested in it? Why are they literally killing themselves for it? It's very interesting. Their designs of how their faces are really warped is quite unique. And the way they kill you too is they just sort of look at you and you just get a heart attack, I guess, and die. I don't know. These guys are just good. Oh, there's also those very good, like, set pieces, right? You know, like the bit where you're walking through and on the roofs and those visitors are just flopping off they're just jumping off the roof. Oh, that is just one of my favourite scenes in a video game ever, honestly. I love the pale city, the way it looks. And then with the visitors just like dropping off the roof and just dying, it's just so cool. And the music too, just in the background. Oh man, it's so good, man. Alright, last but definitely not least is the tool, or the Thin Man. And the Thin Man, he's my favourite. He's my favourite. I think everyone really likes the Thin Man, and I especially do. He's so good, man. His strongest, his weakest part of him, honestly, is literally the fact that he just doesn't get much screen time at all, really. He literally, I think you have like 1 or 2 chase scenes with him, I think, maybe 3. That's it. It's just, you do not spend enough time with this guy. And I think that just shows how good he is, right? Because, like, the only complaint I have with him is literally just, I want to spend more time with him. Like, I don't think you get a single stealth encounter with him. Not a single one. Which is really sad. It would have been really cool to see at least one stealth encounter with him where you have to sneak around him. But the reason why he's so good is just his design. Oh man, it's very simple, but his proportions and the way he is and the way he walks, how he has to literally bend over to go through doors, it's very, like, creepy. And his design is just, it's so cool. There's also, like, the fact that he's literally glitching and like warping around, teleporting around. It's very unique. He's a very unique character that stands out. He has a very strong presence, kind of like the lady. I might actually have to put Roger higher than him. Actually, Roger is kind of the GOAT, right? Because like at least with Roger, you know, you spend more time with him. I probably do prefer Thin Man a little more, maybe more in the design department, but in terms of gameplay, like it's got to go with Roger because you just spend so much time with Roger, and there's so much cool stuff you do while playing against Roger. And then meanwhile the Thin Man literally just, you get like a crappy little boss battle that's, well, you know, it is like thematically really cool. And then you get like one good chase scene and then that's it. And she's just dead. And that's really sad because his design and, oh, it's so good. I haven't even mentioned the fact that, well, spoiler, but the Thin Man is mono. That's also really interesting. It goes back to like his motives, right? He's probably one of the least evil characters, where he's probably just trying to stop Six from betraying Mono again, or I guess himself. Yeah, very, very, very cool character. Yeah, I think that's the list.
No, it ain't.
Oh my god, please leave me alone! Okay, future me back for the last time. We're not done. 2 more left. The Shadow Kids from the DLC. They appear for a short amount of time at the end of the DLC, and I think they're honestly like C. I'd put them behind the Doctor. These guys just aren't super interesting. They don't really add anything, you know. I appreciate that they're there, honestly, because they make the like the last chapter of the DLC more interesting, right? Without them, the final level of the DLC would be a little boring. But also, they just don't really add anything, you know. Like I think they're okay in the game, but they're just a bit whatever. I don't think there's any really explanation why they're there. It's just sort of like the lady's magic, I guess. I don't know. I don't think there's much to say on these guys. They work very similar to the mannequins, where you have to shine your light on them, but they're just okay. The main one that I missed is Six herself. And I don't mean, you know, like actually just her being normal, but I mean like, you know, when she turns into a monster at the end of chapter 2, right? At the end of Little Nightmares 2, right? Obviously, I mean, she is kind of a monster in Little Nightmares 1, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about her at the end of Little Nightmares 2, right? When she's all contorted and she looks like a knockoff Janna. I think I would actually put her like at the top of B. I don't think she's as good as all the ones in A, honestly. She's definitely good when she gets all like contorted and stuff, right? It's like she's good, but she's just, I don't know, I just don't like her monster form as much as all these guys in A. I like her boss battle where you have to call for her and then, you know, dodge around, use the doors and then sneak up on the music box and destroy it. The little chase scene you get and the bit where you're hiding under the table is really cool. But that's really it for her, and I think she works. She's good. I don't have much to say on her. It is quite interesting that she is like she's very similar to Janna, like her build. I don't know if that was like done on purpose maybe, or it's just a coincidence. But I feel like, you know, like the Janna is like kind of Six's arch nemesis in Little Nightmares 1, right? I don't know. I feel like it's like sort of like a subtle nods to the Janna. Hey, maybe I love the janitor so much that I just got to talk about him at every moment. I keep bringing this guy up in the video, but it is because he is genuinely good and he's a very well designed monster. Okay, I think I'm done here. Let's hand it back to my past self. For the last time, see ya. I would like to play Little Nightmares 3 in the future. From the impression that I got, it seems to be not the best game, right? But I mean, I do love this game series, and so I feel like I should eventually play Little Nightmares 3. What's honestly put me off from Little Nightmares 3 is why the hell was there no couch co-op? Why would that not be a thing? I saw some of the monsters though, and they don't look super interesting if I'm being honest. I don't know. But I think this is the list. I'm looking at it and I don't think there's anything I can change. If you enjoyed, check out my other videos. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye!